Welcome to Brainwreck. I'm Jason X.
And I'm Kevin Graham.
And this is the best show on the internet.
We're back at it.
Here we are.
Sounding great.
Sounding great.
Sounding wonderful.
I'm back.
I still need to I don't know if it's me, but maybe I am going deaf in one ear because one ear sounds a lot louder than the other.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, you got a loose wire?
Let's see.
See.
Hello? Ooh, wait, maybe.
Oh. Medical emergency or just, little further in on the plug?
Well, a couple of months ago, remember when I was saying that I thought I had clogged ears?
Yeah, I remember that.
I did have a clogged ear,
okay,
but it wasn't because of fluid or something that was building up inside.
Sure.
I had a cotton swab in there.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I had a cotton swab deep in my eardrum or deep into my ear for 6 months.
And you just how did you not know?
Well, I mean, you wake up one morning and it's wow, my ear feels kind of,
Right.
muffled. And,
Sure.
Every time I sort of clench my jaw or blink really tightly, I get this crackling feeling in my ear. And I was oh, it's probably just earwax. I'm cleaning it, nothing. I'm putting drops in it. And actually, putting drops in it made it worse.
Well, cotton, cotton and liquid
absorbs. Yeah, but I didn't know that at the time, and I was putting the eardrops in there just made it even more clogged. So then I just thought this is just my life now.
Oh,
this is just something I need to accept. But I'd be doing a lot of tugging, a lot of digging, and then one day I was just getting real good with a Q-tip. And it was feeling great, so I just kept going.
Oh yeah. Get that eargasm.
And then I I kind of pushed it into pushed it on the side of the ear canal.
Yeah.
And I just dragged it back, and there was a piece of just fucking cotton. And I did all the things that would typically make my ear crackle, and it didn't crackle no more. I felt like a new man. I was rejuvenated.
My question is,
yeah,
because I've got so many, but my main one, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, this happened from a Q-tip mishap.
Allegedly,
right? Yeah. I mean, if the glove don't fit. Yeah. But how would you have not noticed the fuzzy end of the Q-tip being missing after pulling it out of your ear?
Oh, I mean, sometimes you just get a lot of gunk.
Oh,
so it's just not that I have gunky ears, but every now and then it's just a bad week. So you just you got a lot of shit you got to dig out.
Sure, right? Yeah, detox, whatever.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know, man. I'm not a doctor.
I just feel like that's something you would notice isn't there, because I assume you're a looker, right?
Oh, I always look.
Well, of course, right? You gotta know.
But I'm not inspecting it
Sure.
I mean, it was a little tiny piece. It wasn't. Well, I mean, it wasn't a tiny piece, but it was a noticeable piece.
This is fascinating.
I know.
This is riveting.
This is
because
you had to use those Q-tip things when you were.
When I had a call center job, and I had to wear fucking headphones.
All the time,
8 hours a fucking day.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's horrible for you. And so regular Q-tips didn't do anything for me anymore. So I had to get the plastic ones that look like a little spoon to get in there. Yeah, no, they look like a little spoon. And then the other side is a ridged ball.
Ah, for your pleasure.
Yeah. And you can do a little twirling with that. And boy, it really
twirling in the ear.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Q-tip spoon, double-sided?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait, that's a cuticle.
For your pleasure.
Maybe I need a Q-tip spoon.
You gotta just don't do what fucking
the best way to clean your ear with a spoon. It's a little tiny spoon.
It is, I told you. Yeah.
That's genius.
Right?
Oh, I got other applications that could be used for.
Just don't pull a a Chaz Finster and invest all of your sweepstakes winning into ear cleaning devices, it doesn't work out.
Okay.
Never does. But anyway, folks.
Anyway.
I was not here last week.
No, you weren't. I was.
You were here. You did a hell of a job, sir.
You know what? I said I want to try something new.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more chill. You know, because like there's a lot of things that I follow out there in the world that we don't always cover on the show.
Right.
Or anytime I'm like, hey, we should talk about this. You're like, okay, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, well, then I don't want to talk about it because then I'm just talking at you and at the audience.
Sure.
You know, so I figured, we'll dive into some news on my end. We'll see what's going on.
And it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
I had a great time. I went on way longer than I should have or that I ever intended to.
And mostly everything worked. So, like, that was enjoyable to see, too. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Score one for the good guys.
There we go.
But I could not join because I was on a little vacay.
Mm-hmm.
Me and the family met up with Bitter Boy Harris's family. And we went to the Indian Rocks Beach, which is a lovely place right around St. Pete's here in Florida. And we had they had rented a beachfront property, one of them Verbos or Airbnbs or what have yous.
Yep.
And it was wonderful. It was a fantastic time. We had nice weather, got to relax, hadn't seen them in a year, so it was very nice.
Yeah.
There was one thing that was concerning, and kind of it didn't overshadow the trip.
Okay.
But like I can't talk about this trip without talking about our neighbors.
Nice.
Okay. Because while it was a beachfront property, you know, they stack these bitches up like townhouses. Like there's one right after another.
They pack them in.
And of course, most of them are being rented out because money. And so the one unit next to us that was rented out by this family. I swear to God, there must have been like 17 people staying at this house. Like it was like a family reunion get together situation, but also with people who have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that was very apparent in the way that they were talking. And it was very apparent in the way that they were acting.
Oh.
And it was very apparent in the way that they were raising their child.
Oh.
So with these beachfront properties, you can wake up, you usually have a balcony, and then you go downstairs and it's just a short walk to the beach.
Yep.
And this becomes an issue when you have small children. You know, you want to keep an eye on them. Make sure they're not going in the ocean, whatever.
Wrestling with a shark.
Exactly. You know, getting a riptide, what have you. So we're out on the beach and the family next door just starts freaking out.
Really?
And they're screaming for their kid, Reed.
Okay.
The mother is being overly dramatic, saying that she's lost her son, that she doesn't know how she's going to go on without him.
Wait, what? This escalated.
No, it went from 0 to 60.
Oh, shit.
In a minute. Like, first it was just like, has anyone seen Reed? And then it went to full screaming, like really quickly.
Did you say how old is Reed? Do we know how old?
If I had to hazard a guess, I'd probably say in between the age of probably 9 and 12.
Okay.
That'd be my guess.
Okay.
And so everyone's freaking, like the uncle's freaking out, the dad's freaking out, the mom's freaking. The mom is freaking out, but she's not actually doing anything. And that's the part that's like real telling. Like when shit's going down and mom's freaking out for attention, but not actually trying to solve the situation in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, okay, there's a privilege here that you know, is concerning.
Yeah.
And so everyone's freaking out, everyone's screaming, and we're just like on the balcony watching this whole thing unfold. Like we're up high, so like we're kind of trying to help, but like it's none of our business also at the same time.
Right.
And we definitely do not want to get involved at all.
Yeah.
So, but we would if we had to, right?
Yeah, push came to shove.
So like we kind of look and we don't see shit. And so, but we are watching this family like completely go insane.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see Grandpa. And Grandpa has been laying in a lounger all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like all day. He has not moved. I was concerned that he didn't make it at one point. It was like 104. So like he should go inside for a little bit. We just see Grandpa kind of kick his legs over, stand up, and he just walks to the beach.
Yeah.
And he just starts walking in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gone for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he walks back with Reed.
So let me hazard a guess. Reed wanted to go do some swimming. And Grandpa was like, all right, I'll come over and I'll watch you. You go swim away.
Mm-hmm. And then just continued to lay in his lounger and not give a fuck about anything or anyone. And so like, and then of course, once he's back, like the mother is overly like sobbing, overly dramatic that somebody found her son, even though she couldn't take fucking 5 minutes and walk down the beach to look, to be concerned at all. Like no effort, zero effort from mom on this one. And then so all that happened, right?
Yeah.
Then the next day, this was the line of the trip. This is my favorite rich people solution of all time. Okay. So the next day, it's early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Reed's out by the pool, whatever.
Good for Reed.
And so hear Reed go, you know, I'm going to go to the beach, with no response.
Oh.
Right? And he just starts walking. I'm like, no,
not
again.
Not this again.
Guy.
Reed, we've been through once.
Through this, right? And then, so as he's trying to walk away, the aunt comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. And the aunt, I feel like, just didn't want to be bothered. Okay. Like the aunt clearly didn't have any kids of her own.
Okay.
And it's like one of those things of like when you walk out and you see like something bad's going to happen and you have to say something, but you really do not want to be involved at all whatsoever in the situation. This was the aunt, because she saw Reed. So if he's missing again, she knows where he is. Okay. Yeah. And so she's an alibi at this point, and she doesn't want to be, doesn't want to be at all. So she goes, Reed, hold on. Wait a second.
Okay.
I'm going to go get an air tag, and we're going to see if it's waterproof.
There's a big part of my soul right now that is like, I really hope that this is the aunt who married into the family.
Right.
And this was her way of saying, you know what? I'm going to get some amusement out of this.
No, I think it's a thing of like, we can track the kid without actually having to do any parenting or supervision. And like, that's good enough.
So you're saying that this was like a serious.
Oh no, it was. Yes. Suggestion. No, this was a serious consideration.
That hurts my soul now because I really wanted it to be, it's the fun aunt, you know, like she hangs out, she likes her vodka, you know,
she was definitely a vodka aunt. She was definitely a vodka aunt, that's for sure. 100%.
I'm a vodka uncle tonight.
The air tag just finds the body. That's so true.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I mean, that's what it is.
But like, that is some shit. To be like, how do we stick an air tag on you to make sure that you don't disappear?
Or just like pay attention.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah.
Yeah, Riptide don't give a fuck.
Riptide do not give a fuck at all.
Man. Something also tells me that, based on what you saw, was Reed the only child?
Yes.
Okay, see, that's where it is.
Yeah.
That's what's up, because that poor kid, probably coming on this big family vacation, all he wants to do is just, have a good time.
He's at the beach.
But then, he's at the beach. Then he's got, no cousins or siblings to hang out with. Meanwhile,
he did have one uncle who was my favorite.
Oh,
because
come on.
First off, he just kept saying, we don't have sunsets like this in Dallas.
Oh, they were from Dallas?
They're from Dallas.
Of course they're from fucking Dallas.
And then so one night he's fucking wasted. Uncle Jim is fucking wasted.
Yeah.
And he's telling Reed, he's like, tomorrow, boy, we're going to go on this yacht and it's going to be the greatest day of your life. And clearly Jim sprung for a yacht day whatever for everybody.
Yeah.
And he was playing this up and he was not going to let Reed think this was anything but a magical experience because he paid a lot of money for this.
Blakely's saying that she thinks that was his dad?
I don't know that it was his dad. It kind of seemed like Uncle Jim. Like Uncle Jim.
Maybe it was both. Don't read into that. This to me is, the family really wanted to have this trip.
Oh yeah.
But, they wanted to have a very specific trip.
Well, I think almost everybody had a very specific trip in mind that was not everybody else's trip.
So nobody planned. There was the trip that was happening, and then she said,
okay,
dad the last day.
Oh well,
I
was doing other things.
This to me is the family had a very specific idea of what they wanted, which was the beach house. This is the location, but nobody had any consistent plans beyond that with each other.
No, the closest thing they had to a consistent plan was the liquor store list. That was it. That was it.
Sure, yeah.
Stocked bar.
Yeah. See, and because I think, I never went on any big family vacations or big family trips when I was a kid.
Okay.
Probably for a very good reason.
Right. Yeah.
Because that would never happen, because it would never have gone well. But I think back to those times of big family gatherings and maybe some family outings where, at the very least, there was an understanding of what could happen and what everybody hopes to gain out of it, which was primarily the adults just want to sit around the grill and the pool and just drink all day.
Right.
And then the kids go off and be the kids.
Sure.
That was the majority of our outings. These people are talking about a yacht being the most magical experience. For us, it was the minivan. For us, it was just piling to the wood paneled van. and that was the most exciting thing, because you got the whole back row to yourself. Right. You got the whole middle row to yourself. That shit was great.
I remember as a child, when we were going to go, if everyone was going to go down, for Halloween to the haunted hayride, right? My dad would pull up in his baby blue unmarked van. He took the back seat out so that he could fit 16 fucking people in the back.
Yes.
And I was sitting on the wheel well, no seatbelt, fucking goddamn 6 years old, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And it was a hootenanny.
It was,
it's a goddamn good time.
Yeah. Didn't need no fucking yachts. It was a station wagon. Throw the kids in the back, do some drifting around the corners.
It's a great time.
Great time.
It's a great time.
And we were happy for those times. Fucking kids in their yachts these days.
We didn't know any better. Too.
You know what? Most people still don't.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like the only thing, the only major difference between today's generation and yesterday's generation is we just understand what the dangers are now.
Oh yeah.
And that's really it. It's we used to do this when we were younger. but I could see how it could be dangerous and bad, you know? So, like, maybe we do it, you know, not as extreme, or we do it a little less. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a hell of a time. It was a hell of a time.
Nobody asked that kid what he wanted to do.
No, everyone was telling that kid what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that kid just wanted to, like, fuck off on the beach, and that was it.
Yeah, maybe go find some other kids.
Something. Get away from this family.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They're all drunk.
They're all drunk all the time. Like,
except for Grandpa, who just wants to hang out.
Like Grandma was drunk on wine every day.
Oh, wine Grandma?
I got up because I had to work a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I got up at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning. Grandma was in the pool with a glass of red wine, hitting it hard.
You know what, though? At that age, if you don't have any responsibilities, I don't know her life.
I mean, no, I don't know her life.
I'll never know that wealth. Maybe she's seen some shit, you know?
Could be.
Could have been. Maybe she was in Nam or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
But, like, I can respect that to some degree. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, yeah, you are on vacation. And, like, when I get to be that age,
make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who's to say, like, when I'm that age, I'm not sitting in the pool with a margarita at 7 in the morning. You know, eating some eggs. Poolside.
Sounds like a morning.
You know what? Like, at that age, I would take sitting in a kiddie pool, eating some eggs, drinking box wine. And I'll be happier than a pig in shit. Let me tell you.
There you go.
Tell you what's up.
Shoot for the stars, kid.
Exactly, yeah. Sometimes you need to just set the bar low. That way you don't, go past what the expectations can be. Like, you just set that bar low, then you'll always clear it. And, it'll put you in a good mood, put you in a good vibe.
Yeah, that's very true. We all try to do too much.
Yeah.
I know I try to do too much.
Just relax.
I have a very hard time relaxing.
Do you now?
Oh,
brother.
I don't stop.
You don't stop not relaxing?
I just keep going.
See, you can't do that.
See, but that's like that. Well, that's what I'm like.
Well.
And so, like, for me to relax, it takes effort to relax.
Oh.
And so I did get to do a little bit of it.
Good for you.
A little bit. Hoping to do a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. When you get your ass out here in Austin in a couple days.
That's right, folks. We are next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
Mm.
We will be together.
Yeah.
In the same place.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, not like when we used to do the green screen thing where we tried to make it look like we were in the same place. Yeah. But we will actually be in the same place. Me and the missus coming down to see you and Christy.
Yeah.
Getting our first taste of Austin. I hear it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's like every time I check the news, there's like another establishment that's been here for like 20 years that's closing. But, we're still able to find the fun and weirdness throughout the city.
I mean, in this economy.
Yeah. Austin's getting really corporate. That's coming from a guy who's been here for 5 years. That's like a lot has changed in 5 years.
That's true. Like, I'm just thinking. I think about like how much has changed around me, and we've been here for like 3.
Yeah,
and it's been a lot. Like we've got Culver's now.
Fuck.
Right? We're moving on up.
I mean, first it's Culver's, next it's J.C. Penney, and
dude. Okay, if anyone is building a new J.C. Penney's anywhere, you are the stupidest person alive.
That is a town you don't want to be in.
No.
They're like, oh, J.C. Penney's coming soon. It's like,
whoa, and
what's happening to the rest of the city?
And there was a ceremony for this.
Yeah. Like, this is where J.C. Penney came to die. Like, this is they're just setting all the old merchandise here.
And so this will help segue into what we're going to talk to next. Not only am I coming to visit you,
yeah,
but you, sir, got yourself some tickets.
we did.
To a certain event that just so
Monday
happens
night next week.
This was completely unplanned.
Completely unplanned. And to be fair, I bought these tickets before you guys had even like before we even discussed you guys coming out here to visit.
That's wonderful.
Because I was like, hey, Monday Night Raw, it's going to be in Austin. I'm just going to pick up a handful of tickets. Because why not?
Right.
I'll find someone to go with.
But you bought 4.
Bought 4.
So like, are you missing a digit?
No, it was a handful. So you grab like a handful.
Right, but wouldn't a handful be 5?
Not always, because sometimes you can only fit 4 in your hand.
Right, if you're missing a finger.
Okay, so if I'm missing a finger, then yeah, I grabbed a handful.
There you go. Okay, yeah. That's what I was asking.
Oh, and Chrissy shot You know what though? Like I mean,
well, you're not building one though. You didn't invest in the foundation of a new JCPenney.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Like they make.
I mean, hey, JCPenney still has good deals, and they still got good clothes. Like that's not the debate here. The debate here is like, why would they be buying?
Why would you be building more? Yeah,
you know, after they, I think, went bankrupt like 5 times.
I'm pretty sure my mom still has one of their credit cards, like the JCPenney credit card. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
get those points.
Wow, look at
points and discounts, man. You gotta know how to play the game. You know.
I almost got a Toys R Us one, and now I'm like,
what, years ago?
Yeah, years ago.
Or like yesterday.
No. Well, you know, when the brother used to work at the toy store.
Yeah.
So, I wonder what that would be like now.
I don't know, because like they need to just stop trying to bring Toys R Us back.
They really need to let it go.
You know, because like realistically, like the idea of a toy store is dead.
Yeah, no, it's a horrible move.
It's
terrible.
It's hobby and collectible shops now. Like that's really what it is. You know, you're not gonna go down the aisle and see like the 3 for $10 wrestling figures anymore. You know, or all the
speak poetry to me, brother.
Oh, fuck, just KB Toys.
With those video games behind the glass.
Oh, behind the counter.
Oh, for God's sake. Premium content.
Give me the Crash Bandicoot, sir. I want to take it home and do some spins. Anyway, what are we talking about?
So we're going to Raw, but first, like SummerSlam.
SummerSlam just happened.
Yeah.
I know you were on a bit of a trip, but did you have a chance to watch any of it?
I did.
You did.
So as you know, and as the people may not know, you know, my wife Blakely K, she likes to have colorful hair.
Yeah.
And we are poor as shit, so I do her hair for her, and
I do my own hair.
Me too. Sometimes, well, Blakely does help me, you know, just give me a little shape, so I don't have to be the asshole with like the mirror in the mirror trying to do.
Sometimes, because we only have like a tall mirror, so sometimes what I'll do is like I'll put my back up against like the bathroom sink where the mirror is, and then I'll like kind of crouch down and put the mirror on my lap, and I'm like holding like this giant fucking thing, just trying to get like the last bit, and then I ask Christy if it looks good. I have a process. It works for me. Okay?
It works for you.
The process works for me, which is fine.
You feel accomplished at the end of the day. That's great.
Oh yeah, and I look good. You know, my bald spot's not there because it's all like shaved down. Great.
So anyway, I was coloring her hair.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Hey, like, we're probably gonna have to talk about the show on Wednesday. So how about we put it on while I'm coloring your hair, and we'll see what happens."
Yeah.
And so it starts, and like Trips is coming down like the longest fucking entranceway of all goddamn time. Like, I don't understand why they did a WrestleMania fucking length entranceway for this fucking show.
Well, it was in a stadium. It was a stadium show.
I understand that, but cut it in half. Like,
can I tell you something? I didn't faze me one bit. I didn't even notice.
Well, this was just at the beginning of the show, and he's got bad knees. Oh, so he's not walking that fast.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, and I'm running off doing this, that, getting ready, and I go to Blakely, "What's happening?" And she goes, "He's still walking."
See, I also skipped all of that because I didn't.
We ended up skipping it.
Yeah, because I also didn't realize that the show started when it did, so I had to like go back.
So we end up starting, and of course, it opens up with Liv versus Rhea, right?
Rhea.
And it was during this match that I realized I've made an error.
You've made an error?
Mm-hmm.
What's your error?
It was during this match because Blakely doesn't know who anybody is.
Sure.
She likes the outfits.
Yeah.
She thought Rhea looked amazing. Well, she thought they both looked amazing.
Both look great. Yeah.
Particularly, she liked Rhea's costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm explaining to who they are, and I'm explaining who Liv Morgan is, and then I realize as I'm explaining to her, and I'm telling her how she used to be in the Wyatt family, that I didn't realize that Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss are two different
people. Yeah.
In this event, I learned they are not the same person.
I'll tell you what, though, very similar vibes. No, like for real though, because I remember when Christy likes Rhea's muscles. I mean, hey.
I mean, who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
She's worked hard on those muscles.
She has.
She deserves all the flowers.
Definitely. I wish I had muscles like that. Mm-hmm. No, because like there was a while where Liv Morgan could very easily have passed for like Alexa, because like they both kind of had like a very similar look at one point. She also had a very similar look to Carmella at one point as well. So
this is I feel like at one point, and it's getting better. It is getting better, but I do feel like at one point women's wrestling was like going to a lifestyle party. Like all the women looked the same. Because of all the plastic surgery and the blonde hair and all the things, like
there was a type that they were going for. Now it is very different.
It is different. It's gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, different.
I'm a man who likes diversity in his wrestling.
I do too. I like when every match has a different look and feel. No, that's just me though.
Yeah,
that's me. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So okay, so you saw Liv and Rhea.
I saw it, and I saw our boy, Hall of Famer,
Dominic Mysterio, folks. First class Hall of Famer. Put him in now. And Mania weekend. Put him in now.
We'll have a special event.
Yeah,
special event.
Dominic Mysterio into the Hall
just
of
for
Fame.
him.
Yeah,
and I want to talk about this because normally this would drive me insane, but because it's Dominic Mysterio, it worked. Okay. What always drives me insane is when somebody's going to do a turn, right? Earlier in the match, they try to help the person that they're going to eventually turn on, and it makes no sense. It makes zero sense when they do that. Because if you're going to turn on this person, you should be trying to fuck them over the entire time. Okay. But it worked for Dom because A, he's a Hall of Famer and he knows how to work a crowd.
Yeah.
But number two, he's such a chicken shit character that it just worked that he would be almost too scared to do it.
Oh yeah.
And then so he would still kind of go along with helping, even though he wasn't really helping. And then finally, when it played out, then he has the confidence to do the full turn. Like I would hate it.
Yeah.
But here I was like, this works. This is great.
Yeah. I mean, everything he did made sense to me. Like, cause you kind of go into like like Rhea was going to hit Liv with the chair at one point. And he's like, no, because if you do that, you're going to lose this chance to get the title. When in actuality, all he's doing is helping his girl because he doesn't want to see her get hurt.
Right.
And he's also causing a little bit of a distraction to allow Liv to sort of, recover, take a breath. So there's that sort of, he's helping Rhea by trying to calm her down, but he's giving Liv more time
to
get her shit together.
Yeah, I think it worked. We saw the other turn later on, which we'll get to. But this was very good. The only thing I didn't necessarily like was I didn't like the image of Rhea in the ring being upset. Like I would have liked to see her fire up,
sure,
and take more of that dominant role, because it just seems like you're taking something away by doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I think given the circumstances of the storyline, when you look at it, you're like, yeah, like it is kind of it is a little bit out of character. Sorry, holy shit.
That Texas heat,
man. Yeah, it did seem a bit out of character for her. However, I think in looking at the entire situation, it does make sense that she would react that way, because it is just like, holy shit, like this actually happened to me.
right?
Because and I think it sort of brings in this vulnerability that we don't typically see with, like, wrestlers that are kind of like in her situation, where she is sort of like this dominant force. It is sort of a situation where, like, maybe she let her guard down, maybe she got a little too comfortable, and is she really mad at the situation, or is she more upset with herself? That kind of thing.
This is what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I'm gonna say,
Blake is saying they fucked it all up for a
one-liner.
They fucked it
all up for a one-liner. And honestly, at this period of time, I can't remember what the one-liner is.
Yeah, I don't either.
But yes, now I remember. Now I think I remember. So I think it was either Corey Graves or Pat McAfee, one of the two, where they talked about where, at SummerSlam the previous years, Dominic screwed over his dad, and now he just screwed over mommy, and so like, and then Blakely was like, "That's it." Like, that's what they were trying to get over this whole time. That was the payoff.
That was the
payoff. Did all this for that one fucking payoff. Like,
yeah.
And it ruined the rest of the night for. Also, meanwhile, while we were watching this, so like we just let it go, and I was doing the hair and whatever. And at one point, Blakely goes, "Is this still happen? Is this still on? Like, is this show still going? Like, are we?" And we were like an hour 30 into it, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's the same show." She's like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. I've stopped paying attention.
Yeah.
Completely.
Oh, wow.
So that was remarkable too, Yeah. What was the next match? I don't remember.
Okay, so next match you got Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. I'm looking at the times that every match went. This match was under 6 minutes.
I believe it. I
don't remember it being that short.
I do, because when I was doing the hair, like, I only got like 3 options to look up to see what was going on, and then it was over. And I was like, did he do the running outside the ring spot that's real fucking scary? No, and she's like, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention.
No, he didn't do that. I don't even think he did the rope running spot.
He did the Frankensteiner.
He did the He did a beautiful fucking.
For a big man,
he is inhuman. To be doing shit like that. And you know what? I'm going to give credit to both Braun and Sami for a sequence in this match. Because there's a spot that happens. I want to say like midway through. Fenton's in here.
We just started.
We just started. And Fenton was there, folks.
Yeah.
He woke up morning of, drove out to Cleveland, and watched the show.
We were just, to catch you up, Fenton. We just talked about how Hall of Famer Dominic Mysterio did a wonderful job.
Had a great showing. But there's a spot in the match between Sami and Braun where it almost seemed like something got fucked up.
Okay.
But you didn't really notice it, because the way that they played it off was, I don't know if you could have played it off any better. Because they never at once played it off like, oh shit, we fucked something up. But there's a spot where, like, I think Sammy goes to give him like the blue thunder bomb, but like they're off time, and then Braun just like cinches on a headlock. And then like Sammy kind of goes up for this spot where like he goes to give him a backdrop, and like Braun does like the backflip sell.
Yeah.
Looks like he lands square on his head, because he probably did. But he pops up, and then I think is when like they go into something. Basically, like something looked like it got fucked up, but the way that they work through everything, I was like, no, that makes total sense, because like Braun stopped him, cinched in a headlock. Sammy managed to reverse it. Yada yada yada. They got back to the spot. Boom, wonderful. The Frankensteiner that he hits, scary. It looks scary. So good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those two, for like putting on a match that went under 6 minutes, I think that it was great.
So I loved it. I'm glad they switched they should have never beaten him in the first place, but now he's got the title, and it's going to be a good time.
Hell yeah. And then after that, we got LA Knight versus Logan Paul. Surprisingly, I was really into this match.
Can I tell you something that really bugged me?
Absolutely. Please do.
You give the man a stick, and he struggles to beat up the Prime truck.
Yes.
This bugged the fuck out of me. Like, why would you give him something that's going to fail so miserably?
A bat, a lead pipe,
anything better. Anything better
than a fucking 12-foot pole.
Horrible. He looked like the biggest pussy. Couldn't even fucking smash in a window.
Yeah.
Like
Goldberg smashed that shit with his hand.
He almost died.
He almost died because of it. Okay. That was at a time when wrestling was real. Okay. And Goldberg just smashing windows and shit.
I was just like, man, this guy is trying to be Steve Austin so bad. And he looks like the fucking like Temu fucking Steve Austin. It's horrible.
I will say this. I enjoyed the match for what it was. On a personal level, I still think Logan Paul is a piece of shit. For many reasons. You can go look at my Twitter for some more recent commentary on that. I also don't understand. I still don't get LA Knight. People like him, and hey, if he's your guy, he's your guy. I'm not here to poo-poo your opinions, okay?
Right.
But for me, I'm just like, I don't get the popularity. I don't get him.
He's got a catchphrase. Well, hold on, Fenton. Like, we're not trying to put an eye out here. Like, me personally, I think Phil was right. Okay, let's leave the real glass out of it. But
like, fuck, don't be bumping on real glass.
No,
God damn, it's pro wrestling, folks.
That might be the only thing me and Phil agree on. But like,
yeah. I mean that and choking Jack Perry. That top of it, 2 kids in a trench coat wearing motherfucker.
Got the pinfall victory after being lit on fire.
Fuck that guy. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that again. But yeah, overall, good match. Smart move on putting it on LA Knight, especially because like Logan's got another lawsuit against him right now. He really stepped in some shit over the weekend, which he can go fuck himself. I will say one thing. I think they put themselves in a position to where, because my feeling right now is Logan Paul is going to go bye-bye for a little bit.
Probably.
That's my feeling. Mainly because he's being sued again, because he's a piece of shit. And he also stirred up some controversy over the weekend because he's a piece of shit. But I think they worked the pinfall in a way to where when they want to bring Logan back, and maybe it is this Friday, who knows? Whenever they want to put him back on TV, he has a claim to where he never truly lost the title. Go back and rewatch the final pinfall of the match.
Okay.
LA Knight rolls him towards the ropes.
Okay.
Which, if you're a properly trained wrestler, there's only one reason why you roll a guy towards the ropes.
That's right.
When you see the 1, 2, you see Logan stretch his foot out.
Okay.
He stretches his leg out towards the ropes. There's, I think, one camera shot that catches his foot underneath the ropes.
Ooh.
When your foot is underneath the ropes or any part of your body underneath the ropes, that pinfall is null and void. It is not a legitimate pin.
Please confirm that, official referee Agent Fenton.
Fenton saying Eddie Edwards threw him into LA Knight when he was Eli Drake one night in Binghamton. Almost broke my nose. Just my random note.
Well, Eddie almost broke your nose, or LA Knight almost broke your nose?
I'm thinking LA Knight almost broke his nose because Eddie threw him into that, which I would still blame LA Knight for, really. I mean, learn how to take a bump.
Right. I mean, the only thing Eddie Edwards is a threat again is exit signs. That's it.
True. Yeah. It's, but I think whenever they want to bring LA back into whenever they want to bring Logan Paul back into the fold, that is the angle that they're going to go with, is go back, look at the tape. My foot is clearly under the ropes, which the referee did not catch. Therefore, he never lost the title. And there it is. Or that could just be the opportunity of like, hey, we have to take the title off you because you're being sued and you're a piece of shit. But maybe there's something we could do to circle back to that down the road.
Right.
So
very possible. And they are starting to pay that type of stuff off. Like, just look at Raw this past week with Randy Orton and Gunther. They're finally paying off the King of the Ring.
Well,
angle.
I wouldn't say that they're paying it off as much as they're playing into the fuck up that happened.
Right, but honestly, like, it's the perfect way to get a good solid victory for Gunther.
Sure.
Over Randy. Like, it works. I like it.
And I think if you are going to pair Gunther, Fenton's decision
is always final.
Decision is always final, even if it's a bad call. Sir, I will refer to Chris Jericho versus Triple H Monday Night Raw.
Well, the man was being threatened for his job. Like,
was it not the referee's decision at the 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, but it was then also the referee's decision.
Did Kurt Angle not have his title taken away when he made Austin tap? Folks, I know my shit. Okay. And as a former referee.
Oh, yeah, you've worn the stripes.
I've worn the stripes. Proudly. It's not always final. Not always final.
Neither is the paycheck.
Wait, I never got a paycheck.
It's in the mail.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. All right, yeah, moving on. Nia Jax versus Bayley. Nia Jax goes over.
This is where I did not see.
You did not see. Okay. Overall, like, solid match. I mean, I don't think it was anything to like praise at the highest honor, but like for what it was, like, yeah, it was a good match. I liked what they did. So they had Tiffany Stratton come out like she was going to cash in, but it was actually just to distract Bayley. Okay. Which, fuck it, Nia Jax hit her with the greatest combo.
Okay.
Because she fucking hit her with like, and like I mentioned this on Twitter too, like she hit her with like a jackknife power bomb, drags her over to the corner, and just fucking hits her with a bonsai drop twice. And I was just like, God damn. Like, if you want to put somebody down, that's how you put them down.
That's how you put them down.
1, 2, 3. And this is what we talked about the other week. Is like, give a good heel the title. Give the people somebody to boo.
You called it.
Nia Jax is that somebody.
Nobody likes her.
Nobody likes her.
Yeah.
And she's going to play a legitimate heel, which is something we do not have enough of in wrestling right now. Everybody says, oh, it's hard to get over as a babyface. I disagree these days. It is so much more difficult to get over as a heel and legitimately get people to hate you, because you don't really get that anymore. And even like the top heels in the business aren't really heels if they're some of the highest grossing merch sellers.
Well, yeah, no, they want to make it some money.
They want to
So,
make some
like,
money, and they want to have good social media interactions.
right.
So like people aren't going to boo them. They're going to get that meta fourth wall breaking, yeah, we like this guy, even though he tells us we all suck.
I never sold any t-shirts.
Brother, you should have sold some t-shirts.
I mean, no, I had t-shirts. Nobody was buying them. That was the problem.
Well, yeah, that's.
Oh,
you got to do one or the other,
Right.
Apparently,
you can get a payday if you want to put the stripes back on.
I'll pay you if you want to referee for me. I mean, all right.
You should be a virtual referee. That'd be amazing. That'd be like you're the Zoom referee.
Oh, speaking of referees and virtuals,
okay,
we almost forgot to talk about the most important thing about referees this past SummerSlam.
Okay.
They brought the ref cam
back.
Oh
my God. I about had a fucking heart attack.
Right?
I was just like, we talked about this on this show. Well, not this show, but another show. But like the referee cam.
The referee cam. Like, I remember like the first match, Rhea versus Liv. They start commenting on the device the referee has. And I'm like, oh, like he's just got like some special mic or some new headset or something. I'd also never seen this referee. So like I was like, oh, like maybe this guy is hard of hearing. So, like he's got this special device that allows him to communicate.
They can't discriminate when they hire.
But then they're like, it is a ref cam. I'm just like, what are we, like early 90s WCW all over again?
Yes. It's Nick Patrick with the referee
with a helmet on his head.
Yes.
Fucking giant camera on top.
Yes. Put a GoPro on that kid.
They abandoned that so fucking quickly in the show.
They did like 2 shots, and that was it. It was done.
They did the opening match.
Yeah.
And then they did CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, which is the next match we'll talk about. And it kept falling off of Seth Rollins to the point where he just said, fuck it, and threw it off. And so getting into Drew McIntyre, CM Punk.
Apparently
this dude's been around for years. Wait, that ref? I don't know what that ref was.
Ain't no little Nate.
Ain't no little Nate. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, with Seth Rollins as the referee. I thought it was good.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
If they are not selling friendship bracelets at the merch stand, they are leaving so much money on the table, because if the fans gave half a shit as much as fucking CM Punk and Drew and Seth give a shit about this fucking bracelet, like they will make all the fucking money.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Yeah. Did you hear that apparently so I'm going to preface this with the internet took this story way too seriously.
Okay.
Apparently, the fan who actually made the bracelet for him, like posted on Twitter something along the lines of like, geez, like it'd be nice to get, some compensation for this, because they're literally feuding. Two grown men in professional wrestling are feuding over a friendship bracelet that a fan made for one of them. And I know TikTok, you're going to be like, oh, this is fucking family shit. Go fuck yourself. I'm right. You're wrong. The man is upset over a goddamn $2 piece of plastic.
Who are you yelling at?
The fucking people on TikTok and YouTube that always got something to say about my hot takes. You know what? Every now and then I'm right. And in this situation, I'm right. They're feuding over a piece of plastic. Okay? And like, it makes sense for Drew, because he's such a shit heel.
Right.
That he's like, it's the smallest little thing. And I'll get, case in point, in the middle of the match, Punk gets the bracelet off of Drew's wrist. And then Seth Rollins picks it up and puts it on. And then CM Punk stops what he's doing to argue with Seth Rollins about why he has the bracelet on. When homie's got a guy who's been beating the shit out of him for months, put him on the shelf. And because you're such, and again, okay, It's a storyline. I understand it. But this is just how much of a little bitch they're making CM Punk out to be. He stops beating up the guy who's been beating him up for months to turn to the other guy who he doesn't like and is like, why are you wearing my bracelet? And cost himself the match. Which I will say this. I love the angle right now that the only person truly beating CM Punk is CM Punk.
That's great. That's good shit.
That's why, and folks,
art imitates life.
And YouTube and TikTok, I'm telling you that I understand all of this. That is the angle. Okay. I'm not trying to personally attack anybody. I'm saying that I'm invested in this angle because it's actually a really good angle. Okay. But it's
minus the bracelet.
No, I actually think the bracelet is a very good hook. I think it's a very good hook because it is something so small and so frivolous that it really feeds into who he is, that he is willing to be so petty that he's willing to cost himself everything. And I think what you're going to see, I think what eventually this is all going to build to is sort of a push everything away and fuck it all. I'm focusing on this one thing. Because that's essentially what he needs to do. He
divorces AJ for the bracelet.
Divorces AJ, gives up Larry. No. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying like he needs to get out of his own way.
Oh, that's never gonna happen.
I know, but like that is the payoff for the angle. More so, it's not about him beating Drew. It's not about him beating Seth. It's about him being able to get himself back into the mindset that he needs to be in order to be able to challenge for the title.
You know, not every story needs a happy ending.
No, it doesn't.
And I would love to see where he kind of turns into Gollum and he's obsessed over the bracelet. And Blakely's absolutely like candy is super important to some people when you go to a festival. You know, it's a big part of it. They spend a lot of time making it. And I'm sure that fan put a good 15, 20 minutes into stringing that up for him.
Oh, yeah. And going back to the fan.
Yeah.
So she had come out and said something along the lines of like, oh, it'd be nice to get some compensation over this. But like every dirt sheet and shit wrestling reporter was like, well, she's now demanding compensation for all of this. And I think she even came out and was like, no, that's not what I meant.
Right. So. Well, it's kind of like the thing of the fucking like Randy Orton's tattoo artist suing for copyright.
That I understand a little bit more of.
They're using her art as, you know,
they're literally selling video games and figures with her artwork on it. Which, listen, I'm not a tattoo artist. I got some tats, you know. Maybe there is a claim there. Maybe there's a copyright claim. I don't know how that all ended up, but
it's all AI anyway.
It's all AI anyways at this point. Anywho, we got 2 matches left. We got Gunther, Damian Priest. Gunther goes over. Phenomenal match. These two beat the fuck out of each other, which is exactly what this match needed to be.
Right.
Exactly what this match needed to be. Honestly, I thought Damian Priest had a hell of a showing.
Did he have a botched spot?
No. He looked
That's an improvement.
He looked good. He looked on time. He looked stiff. He had great emotion because you had Finn Balor fucking him over.
Right.
Which I think, by the way, I'm pretty sure we got every prediction for this show.
It was a very predictable show.
It was a very predictable show, but I think that's fine. But yeah, you had Finn Balor fucking over Damian Priest. Great emotion, great action. Overall, I thought the match was wonderful. It's Gunther's time. You know, whether you might argue like, well, Damian didn't really get a long enough run. That's fine. There's still plenty of time. And it's one of those situations where right now, Damian doesn't need the title to be over.
Right.
I think he's getting himself over with the current storyline.
And I think it's kind of like it's kind of like when Phil first won the title. Like he wasn't ready to be world champion when they gave him world champion, and he wasn't that for very long.
Mm-hmm.
He then became ready.
Yeah.
And then became great. And I think Priest, if he can figure himself out, is going to be on that track as well.
And I think you made a good point right there by saying, like, when he can figure himself out, because I think now he's on the path to do that. Because, when he won Money in the Bank, people were like, oh, okay, that's an interesting direction. And then, like, he wasn't cashing it in. They're like, well, is he ever going to actually do it? Like, is his contract going to expire? Right. And then he wins it. People are like, oh, great moment. But then they're like, well, what's he really doing with it?
Right.
Sometimes you get a title to build towards a storyline, folks. Sometimes it's not about holding the title. It's about how you get into the next angle. And I think the way they did everything was great. I'm looking forward to the feud with him and Finn. I love the idea of a new Judgment Day versus essentially two Judgment Days colliding.
Yeah. And Finn asks for our thoughts about being a smart babyface watching the big screen. This is something that I did want to bring up.
Okay.
Finally.
Yes.
Somebody watches the fucking Tron.
Somebody sees what's going on. It's like they do it in football all the time.
All the time. This isn't fucking Ultimate Warrior in the mirror. No. Like, watch the screen.
TV screens
watch
around
the replay.
Stadium. Yeah.
If you could get the fucking GM of something to watch the goddamn replay, we wouldn't have half the shit fucking booking that we have.
Exactly.
But no, like, I loved that. Like, more of that.
More of that. People not being dumb for the sake of being dumb.
Exactly.
Pay attention. But yeah, great match. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. Bloodline rules, which I was like, why are they doing that? And then I understood why they were doing that. Solid. I think it was a great way to close out the show. Honestly, I know a lot of people might not be big on Solo as a performer, Solo as like the tribal chief and all of that. I think he's exactly where he needs to be. I think that this showed that he can perform at a number of different levels. I think that the storyline here, I think everything, again, fed into a good angle by the end of it all. Arn Anderson making an appearance. And Arn was looking good. Like Arn looked like he trimmed up a little bit.
He didn't talk about shooting anybody.
Right. But I think it was good to see him on TV again and good to see him there. And yeah, like you got the involvement with the Bloodline, which brought out Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. And then we'll get into the last piece. Fenton says, love Solo in this role right now. He's doing so well. I think he is too. I love the idea of his bloodline just being fucking maniacs and just doing what needs to be done, essentially. Right. And Jacob Fatu, inhuman.
The man.
Absolutely inhuman. Dude comes out and I stop. If I'm doing something else, if I'm on my phone and Jacob Fatu comes out, I'm done with everything else and I'm just watching the TV. Watching the TV. There was a spot where he may have gotten hurt. I don't believe he was hurt.
No, from what I understand, reports are that was just some great selling.
And it made, number one, great selling. Okay. He's not just a pretty face, folks.
No.
He can sell like a motherfucker.
That's right.
Because my first thing was like, oh shit. Like he may have like broke his ankle or something.
Fenn's right. One amazing sell.
Fatu is one amazing sell. And then the rest of the match happened. I'm like, no. This makes perfect sense. Perfect fucking sense. Because obviously you get Roman Reigns coming out.
Right.
Making his return.
Which I predicted, by the way, on this show.
Okay, you predicted. I can't say that I was surprised. Give him the pencil, folks. But it made sense because you had Tama Tonga and Tonga Lao coming out, and then they get fought to the back by Orton and Owens. Then you have Jacob Fatu coming out. Are you really going to have anybody come out and beat up Jacob Fatu right now?
No.
Even if it's Roman Reigns?
No.
The man just won a tag team title the night before. The man is an absolute savage. The man, for a man his size, doing the things he can do, it's amazing. So, wonderful. In that situation, who's the best person to take out Jacob Fatu other than Jacob Fatu?
He's CM Punk'd himself.
He's CM Punk. Without the pettiness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world that he hits that splash, grabs his ankle, does the step, falls over, grabs the fucking... When he grabbed that desk chair, I was like, oh my God, somebody's going to die. I was like, he's going to kill Michael Cole right now. He's going to kill Michael Cole. But you take him out of the action by playing it up like he's hurt.
Yep.
Roman comes out. Superman punches Solo. Spear Solo. Walks back. Cody hits the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Great story. Great payoff. Something I'm now excited to see happen on Friday night. Looking forward to the payoff. Overall, and I know you didn't watch the whole thing. And Fenton, maybe you can chime in on this.
Yeah, please. What was it like live? Give us a little taste.
In my opinion, there was not a bad match on this card. I think every match delivered in some form or fashion. I think the angles were great. I think the stories were wonderful. I think that 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, when you talk about some of the best pay-per-views of this generation, this is up top. I think that this is one of the, but I think that when you look at the last 24 years of pay-per-views.
24 years of pay-per-views? Wow, okay.
Going back to the 2000s, folks.
All right.
This is one of the best.
Wow. That is a bold-ass claim.
I think that it was a tremendous show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, I thought all the matches were good. I thought they were great. I thought the stories were great. I don't know that I have a criticism of value. For this show.
Okay.
You can nitpick, but like overall, like there's nothing that I would say really took me out of it.
I mean, the only thing that took me out was LA Knight in that fucking Prime vehicle.
Yeah, but like
that was so unfortunate.
For me, though, I was like, that's to be expected.
Keep the bar low, folks.
Yeah, keep the bar. Hey, keep the bar low. Keep it low.
Yeah. I'm here for that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's it. That's SummerSlam.
That is SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a bold claim. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I didn't see the whole show, but I definitely won't take that claim that you did. But I am excited. I heard about what happened on Raw. Didn't see it, but this coming Monday, I will see my first Raw in probably 2 decades, a decade probably.
Oh, okay.
So long fucking time. Okay, from Fenton here. Roman and Cody were ultra over. The crowd would have been pissed had Roman no-showed. The live crowd was into just about everything. And Fenton, you can't ask for more than that, except as long as they don't sing. Then it's wonderful.
Okay. I know I was shitting on TikTok earlier. There was somebody in the comments on TikTok the other day. Okay. Commented on your little rant.
Okay.
About the European crowds being too much. And they made a great point, and I even commented. I said, Kevin agrees. So there. But they said, U.S. crowds get the WWE every week, every weekend, essentially.
Sure. Right.
So like European crowds, we get them through maybe once a year or once every 5 years.
Sure.
So I was like, that makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. You know, you got to go all out and let them know that they appreciate what they're seeing and that they love that they're there.
Here's where I disagree with you. Okay. If I was at that show, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it's anything else.
Yeah.
Let's say it's anything else. Let's say it's a goddamn Billy Joel concert. Okay. And Billy Joel comes to France fucking once in every decade or whatever the fuck. I don't know. And I'm shelling out $400 to go see some Billy Joel.
That's way too much to go see Billy Joel, sir.
I'm just saying. I'm not French. I don't know what the conversion is. Do I want to go and listen to 10,000 or whatever the fuck it was, 60,000 people sing Uptown Girl? Or do I want to hear the man sing it himself?
Well, but you're not in that crowd. You're not in that stadium. That is a stadium of people.
I came to hear Billy Joel. He didn't light the fire, and neither did the fucking French.
You can listen to Billy, but you can't hear Billy. Okay? You can't hear Billy.
Fenton says that the show was extremely special to him for a number of reasons. He was glad to go. Only $400 for the trip. That ain't bad.
Round trip.
That ain't bad.
Fenton, did you buy any merch?
Yeah, did you buy any merch? He did sing for Seth as well. And then Mr. Dusty White says Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes will face the new Bloodline tag team on the 31st of August.
Okay.
Hopefully. We're building to them War Games, Survivor Series.
Ooh, they're gonna do Bloodline versus Bloodline.
Fuck yeah, they are. And then it's gonna build to the Rumble where you're gonna get the Rock back.
Wait, they need 5 for, because it's 5-on-5 for War Games.
I mean, they'll do whatever they want.
No, it's 5-on-5 for War Games. If you do Bloodline versus Bloodline, you could probably piece together who Roman could pick.
Sure.
Solo's going to need one more. And there have been rumors about like maybe them plucking a couple more cousins through the independent circuit.
Well, there you go. Well, you will just have to wait and see, and be sure, folks, to subscribe right here to our YouTube channel. We are live here every Wednesday talking about the wrestling, talking about life, talking about all the shit, talking about assholes trying to air tag their kids on the beach.
Don't air tag your kid. Just be a good parent and you know, make sure you know where they are. That's all you got to do. Just
give a shit.
Just pay attention to your kid. Just be there.
Just be there. That's all I want.
Did buy a jersey. Oh, good for you.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah. So, here every week, every Wednesday, we got all this stuff going on. Check out the archives. We got all sorts of fun shit there. Follow us on X or Twitter, whichever you prefer to call it, at BrandRack TV. That's really it.
That's
it.
All right. Well, for this week, I've been Jason X.
I'm Kevin Graham.
And this has been your show.
Peace.